It's Chilly Billy Howell here with the Delta Bohemian. Been a minute, but I'm out at Hopson Commissary just south of Clarksdale right now with James Butler, the owner of Hopson Commissary, and very cool venue. And there've been a few changes around Clarksdale due to COVID and life. And anyway, so I'm just here to do a short clip asking James Butler a little bit about where Hopson's been, where it is, and where they might be heading. So James, have at it, brother.
All right. Well, I appreciate you coming out, Chili. Yeah, we've been trying to. What we've done over the last few years we've had private parties. We've hosted all types of private parties. We've had music on Saturday nights and music on Monday nights. And I don't know, when all this happened and we just shut down in March and had to, we started kind of thinking about where we were going. And we've decided that we had hoped that we could find someone that would come in here and lease the space and maybe kick it up a notch. I mean, we feel so lucky that over all these years that we have basically had music on Monday nights and Saturday nights, and unless it was leased out, I mean, that's all we did. I mean, Robert's here every day for happy hour, and a couple of folks will drop in, but we're not really a full-time bar, certainly not a restaurant, but we feel like it should be a little bit more in the future, a little bit more geared toward food service, which I don't want to do. So we thought, if nothing else happening, it might be a good time to start the conversation that we would like to have somebody come in and lease the space and do more of for instance, like the Hollywood up at Robinsondale, that type of thing, and not rely on music, just that as your only type of activity outside of wedding receptions, rehearsal dinners, class reunions. But some of the parties that we have done over the years that aren't near as many of anymore is one of the reasons we decided to do this. For instance, Christmas parties with offices, businesses, law offices, chemical companies, all these. For years, we would do a lot of those, and between Thanksgiving and Christmas, we did a bunch of them. It's almost every night seemed like we had Christmas parties. A number of years ago, they started thinning down. And from what I think, from what I hear, I mean, it's not that that they're not doing them anymore. It's just not as many Christmas parties. So we hadn't had that many Christmas parties the last few years. Chemical companies, seed companies used to do a lot of things where they would introduce new products. They would come in here and I'd feed them, a couple of hours from 12 to 2. We would have barbecue for them, and they would introduce a new product and have 100, 150 farmers in here. And we did a lot of those various times of the year. Over the last few years, they just haven't been doing that many of those anymore, but it's because times have changed. People are cutting back. They're not doing as many of those type things. So, our business was changing, and and we were having to become more of a music venue, which I enjoyed 15 years ago, being over here till 2 and 3 in the morning on every Saturday morning, every Saturday night, Sunday morning. I don't enjoy that like that anymore as much. So, we've realized in the last couple of years that we were having to do a lot more music than we had actually planned on doing. Not that we don't enjoy the music, the time is not on our side.
What are y'all kind of doing post-COVID now? So as far as until you possibly find somebody to lease it, or whatever the future holds, and I know you're open, but what is going to go on in the meantime?
Now Saturdays we're going to do some football, SEC football. We'll show the games in here. Saturday night we had 20 folks or so in here, just for a few hours. We had the Ole Miss game first, then the state game, and then watched a little bit of a the Alabama game.
Still full bar though, right?
Still full bar, but yeah, we're still full bar. We're trying to just trying to keep something going.
And you had barbecue.
We had barbecue then. This week we'll do chili. It's going to be a little cooler.
Okay.
So we'll do chili. And you know, I thought about as nice as it's going to be. I may try to put a TV back in the courtyard. That, you know, people would actually be more like tailgating back there. You know.
So you got a TV here. You keep one up there, a different game maybe.
Yeah. One at the bar. May do one out back. I'm not sure.
Are you open during the fall holiday season, winter, to doing Christmas parties again?
Yes.
Or bigger events if they
We-
cater it, or you can cater it actually?
We can, or they can have caterers come in. We don't have a problem with that at all. Never have. We have a wedding still, one that's been booked for a long time in November. Can't think of what else we have already that's still booked from before all this. But we are, you know, we're hoping that we can continue to book private parties. And, you know, if nothing happens, if nobody comes along, I can't really say that I know exactly what we'll do. But we're gonna try to just keep private parties going until something else happens. And I wish I did have a better idea about, you know, what's next. But if we had enough private parties, we would love to do that. I just think that we will not continue having Saturday night music because of the scheduled time. You know, folks don't get there till 10 o'clock. Music till 1. By the time the band breaks down, it's 2. You're trying to get people out 2:30. You know, that's just not.
And trying to make sure the band makes enough money. Do you lose money? Do enough folks show up? And so anyway, folks, this is a classic place, Hopson out here. It was, in my opinion, one of the catalysts for the resurgence of Clarksdale. It's been around, and Clarksdale and the Mississippi Delta is a cool place. And one thing the Delta Bohemian tries to do periodically, we've been hit pretty hard by COVID, but we like to love on local folks who have spent some time in the trenches, and all small businesses in America, and particularly the South, are struggling. And we don't ask you to come here just to keep it open, like begging like Keith Sweat, but we want you to come here because this is a cool place. And as long as James and Kathy can keep entertaining you in this awesome building with lots of history and a lot of cool memorabilia, it's a good thing. So come on out to Hopson, holler at my boy James Butler. How do they get in touch with you, James?
They can call us here at the commissary at 662-624-5756, or just go to hopsonplantation.com.
All right, sweet. Appreciate you, brother.
Thank you, Billy. Appreciate
You're
it,
golden,
man. Thanks.